anyone who got the Dallas Cowboy defense, man, it might take a slight hit in them points. I ain't gonna say it's gonna go down, but them 50 and 40s might not be the same, man. But we gotta talk about, or you can make a trade. Now's the time to trade. Do what the Vikings did. They went and got them a running back. Madison wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, so they went and got Cam Akers up off the Rams. I really think the Rams was just trying to get some draft picks back, but that's neither here nor there. So to give y'all a little update, so the Vikings send a conditional 2026 six-round pick to the Rams in exchange for Cam Akers and a conditional 2026 seventh-round pick. So they just out here putting conditionals out on everybody. So with this one, just a reaction to it, I'm gonna start Madison. Madison and the GM. I think they've realized they messed up. I know Dalvin Cook costs too much, but the running back market, at the rate in which they weren't trying to pay these running backs, they're looking like we should have kept him. I know he did look good as a backup, but sometimes the one at home is cheaper to keep her. That's what they say. And when you try to step out with the side, you're like, man, life was pretty when we was only meeting up every Thursday. Now I'm here every day. You don't look the same. You don't even cook. Like, it's getting ugly in here.
Man, you be having some golden ones, man. I swear you do.
Hey, situations I heard about. I ain't live it. Anyway, you get there. Next thing you know, they play the Eagles. Of course, it's a Vonage front. You're like, man, it's the Eagles. They rush Jalen Carter. He's doing his thing out there. They wanted to give him one more week, but you put the ball on the field too much. At least with Dalvin Cook, you knew what was there. Like I said, the one at home, you know was really there. You know the Knicks, the Knacks, the injuries. Meanwhile, you look down in Dallas and you're like, they got rid of Zeke, but they got rid of Zeke too late. Y'all got rid of Dalvin Cook a little too early because he still had something left in the tank. The Jets, if they would have just stuck to the run that game, I think he would have popped at least one or two at some point, but they stopped running the ball. Meanwhile, Kirk Cousins, that O-line ain't the best, and you got Madison there. He's not the running back for that. Bringing Cam Akers in, there we go. And bringing Cam Akers in is going to help a little bit. He averaged 4.3 yards a carry last year. But that's going to help as far as the committee.
Cam Akers can block.
But can he run?
At this point,
can block.
I was going to say, at this point, I think it's just they want to block him. And the running back by committee.
Third down is not going to get Kirk Cousins sacked.
Yeah, I don't trust that. But hey,
I do. He kept Sam Bradford safe, or Matthew Stafford safe.
How he messed up his arm?
I was gonna say you can go next.
Who messed up what? No, I'm saying throughout the year when Cam Akers was playing protection wise, he's good on third down blocking.
Okay. He ain't been healthy lately, but hey. Go ahead, coach. It's on you.
That's true. Well, my reaction to it is they need help. They need somebody else. Who else is back there? I don't think there is anybody behind Madison. They didn't go and do anything in free agency. They didn't do anything in the draft in the running back position. They just said, no, every time he was out, Cook was out, Madison stepped in and did his thing. Yeah, coach, but you can't be that stupid to not know that, I don't know, maybe defense they don't want to waste time on film on Alexander Madison as a backup. But as a starter, don't you think these same men who do this for a living, who are trying to keep their jobs, don't you think they're going to have a game plan for Alexander Madison? Like, he's not Dalvin Cook. They're not drawing up schemes to stop the Alexander Madison Dalvin Cook. No, it's Madison. So we know what he can and can't do. That's easy. So it's like the only issue I had this in these last few weeks with Alexander Madison is what he had to deal with ignorant fans.
Yes.
Because how bad he did against the Eagles. And it's like, not that he did bad, but it's the Eagles defense. Ain't no running back running on that defense. I don't care who you are. They're going to stop. You might be able to pass on that Eagles defense, but you are not running the football. So if you were the idiot who thought, oh yeah, he's the number one back, he's gonna score, you're stupid, because no running back in New England scored the week before. What made you think that? No running back scored last year against the Eagles. What made you think that was going to happen? Like, that defense didn't change. I'm saying consistently, not actually. It got better this year. When I say last year, like it wasn't like running backs scoring 2-3 times on the Eagles defense in the game. Is what I'm saying. So they've gotten better this year from what they did last year. That defense, that front seven, is more elite, especially what they did in the draft and in the offseason. Like they just added people. You're not running the football. So if you started him, if you put money on Alexander Madison, that's your fault. You need to be called a racist slur, not him. He did what the coach called. I understand he coughed up the ball. What running back don't? But he runs for 150 and 2 touchdowns. I bet you calling him a fantasy god though in that same game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but because the Eagles defense did their job, he's a racist slur. Stop it. Now, outside of that, Alexander Madison was not a lot. He was the backup to Dalvin Cook. He was the second home. Okay, he was the reliable person when that Mr. Reliable was out. That's all he was. To make him the starter off of that, you thought you had something. You didn't. What they did was, oh, we got to make a move. It's week 2 in the NFL season. It's week 2 in the NFL season. And what they did was they're not trying to see how bad this is going to get. You know what I mean? They're trying to make moves now so they can stay effective. I think Cam Akers is great blocking. I understand what Dave is saying, especially this year. He's a little injured. I don't think he's going to run more than Madison. I think they're going to either split carries, but I think Akers is going to be used more for the passing. I haven't seen Alexander Madison catch any passes, any check down passes. So I think that's what Cam Akers is also coming in for. He's coming in to help and to help on more. He's not going to be like an elite scorer. He's not coming in here to just put this team over the top. But what they need is they need depth in blocking. Until they can get this offensive line together, and they need another running back that can be effective in the open field outside of Madison. They just
I agree.
Simple Band-Aid.
I agree. That does help. They're the Eagles' rush defense is way better than what it was last year. Way better. And and for one, I gotta give context to that. One of the best defensive linemen, Jordan Davis, was out most of the year last year, so that's why the defense was able to get run on. They did try to get some help with Dominican Sue coming in there, but that didn't help out.
Don't forget Big Linval Joseph. They went and got the Cows.
They went and got Linval Joseph and Dominican Sue, and that did not help their rush defense much. So there were times where running backs were able to run on them pretty much last year. I mean, it's not my beef, so I'm not saying this to start anything. But when they played against the Commanders, what happened? They ran the ball all over them that game. They ran the ball over 40 times, and they scored multiple touchdowns from running the ball. So that rush defense was definitely a weakness. But this year, it's not a weakness at all. They are number 1 in rushing defense this year. So they're doing they addressed the need that they needed to with Jalen Carter being there as a rookie, and he's looking like the truth.
Each game he's getting so much better and scarier.
So Alexander Madison, but this goes back to what we said in the offseason. Remember when we had that segment? It was the 3 of us.
Yeah.
We had that segment about Dalvin Cook.
Yep.
And I said, Dalvin Cook is a starter. I don't know what the Vikings are doing by not signing him back. And now look, everything I pretty much said is coming to fruition. Alexander Madison is not Dalvin Cook. They are missing Dalvin Cook right now.
Man, now he's missing them.
Of course he is. That offensive line in the Jets is trash. Oh my goodness. He need help. He needs a lot of help.
You had Aaron Rodgers, and now you over there looking across the field at Kirk. Like, man, I miss you, bro. Like you missing Kirk Cousins right now. Think about that.
Yeah, that's only because Aaron Rodgers is out for the rest of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
And he sees Zach Wilson. He sees Zach Wilson, but he gotta do like this. I'm like, oh man, I thought that was. Oh, it is him, man. I wish it was Kirk.
That's funny, but nah, man. I think Cam Mason is going to help, sort of, but then again, how much help is it? For real,
it's a Band-Aid.
It's a
backfield Band-Aid to get some blocking help in the backfield.
It's a
cheap
It's one of
Band-Aid.
those, those new band-aids now that look like your skin. That's what it is.
Yeah,
It's one of those. It's a blended in band-aid.
but it still
That's
fall
what it
off.
is. It just blended in. That's all it was. It just blended in. So all he did was blend in our offense. He's just gonna look like another one of the other backs, and he'll help out sometimes. But I mean, he hasn't been healthy the last few years.
That's very true.
So how much help is he really going to get? And he's a running back. A running back is the one position in the NFL that gets the most contact from any position. I mean, the offensive line gets contact too, but not like the running back. So that's something, right? Cam Akers can help some with the third down blocking and maybe with some pass catching and stuff like that, but I don't think it's going to make a difference, honestly. They need help addressing this offensive line because they have an offensive lineman out for the rest of the year.
They have a terrible coach too and a terrible defense as well.
This needs to. That's where the issue lies in the offensive line and that defense. Other than that, I think the best defender you got back there is Harrison Smith.
Yeah, man, it's not good.
And he's a safety. So it's only so
what
much.
What linebacker do they have? What linemen do they really have? Like there's nothing there, and then they run a cover too. Like
it's only so much. It's only so much. It's only so much Cam Akers is going to be able to do. He has some speed to be able to go along with what he's able to do, but is that by the time he's able to run, the defensive line is going to be right there meeting him.
Does this trade get the Vikings a W? No.
Not late in the season. It's gonna get them one of those if they play the Cardinals or somebody like that.
Yeah, something like that. Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it'll get them one of those.
Right now,
it's a momentum builder, but
they're 0-2 right now because they can't stop a cold. They're looking like the Chargers right now. I couldn't tell you who win the game against the Chargers and the Vikings right now.
I wouldn't go that.
That's a conversation for another day. That's a conversation for another way. We ain't talking about that today.
I was just gonna say the Chargers' offense is better, but yeah, like you say, conversation for another day. Dave, let's tell these folks about these IG chats, man.
All right, so we got some IG chats going on. I actually had some news that I saw before when we started the show, but it's unrelated to any of the chats that we have right now. It's actually some NHL news. For y'all who don't know what NHL, that's hockey. So the Senators have been officially sold for $950 million. It was unanimously approved to a group led by Michael Andler. I don't know who that guy is.